Hi, welcome back to the WTSJ podcast. I'm Casey. I'm with Ryan O'Keefe, and we're going to be talking about the global warming. So, with the concept of global warming, we have a little chart here as that little dotted line that you see for a long time, the atmospheric carbon dioxide has never ever been above that line.
Nope.
Up until 1950, and that's when it started to rapidly increase, which really isn't good at all.
And it's had its rises and falls, but I mean, it's never been that high before, and it's only getting higher.
Yeah, it's not getting any lower.
No.
Doesn't seem like it's ever going to be getting any lower if we don't do anything about it.
Yeah, it's soon.
Yeah, it's going to be devastating if we don't do anything about it. So, a little bit more about what global warming is. So, global warming is the long-term rise in the average temperature of the Earth's climate system.
Global warming happens when carbon dioxide and other pollutants and greenhouse gases collect in the atmosphere and absorb sunlight that is bounced off the Earth's surface. Usually this radiation will reflect back off into space, but the pollutants trap the heat, which causes the Earth to get hotter. This is called the greenhouse effect.
Yeah, it's not good. All it does is just trap in the heat, the energy from the sun,
and
which
just
causes
heats us up.
it's keep constantly heating us up, causing more and more radiation to be exposed to the Earth's surface. What also contributes to the rise of carbon dioxide is the burning of fossil fuels. It's with carbon dioxide is a huge trapper. Like we said, it's a huge trapper of the sun's energy.
And with all that, scientists predict that in the next 10 years, if we do nothing about this, there'll be irreversible effects due to global warming.
It's just not going to be good.
No.
As you can see it, we'll talk a little bit after a quick little short break with the fires in Australia. That's just getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
So a little bit more on Australia, and we'll be right back after this short break.
Welcome back to the WTSJ podcast. I am Ryan O'Keefe here with Casey Dolniak. We have now for you Australia. What's caused the fires? What's happening with it? Casey, why don't you start us off?
So with the fires, how it started was people setting bushfires either on purpose or on accident, mainly on purpose, and also from the lightning starting the fires.
So Australia was already having its hottest and driest year on record. I mean, they were getting no rain whatsoever.
And this is horrible because rain does kind of help with slowing down the fire, not completely extinguishing
but
it.
It can help the firefighters control it.
It definitely can. But they only have rained once throughout this whole time.
Well, I think they got it again recently, but it's just like making everything into mud.
Yeah,
It's not really
and it's
helping.
making it harder for people to set up. So with the New South Wales police, police from Australia, have taken many legal actions on approximately 183 people, and have already charged 24 people with arson. We don't know if that number increased at any time
I'm not sure if it
since we
has.
found out about this, but as of right now, we only know about a little more, or about 24 people have been charged with arson, and that's just a lot. And who in the right mindset would do that?
So although these fires were started by people, it was only prolonged by the extremely hot temperatures and the dryness there. Like we said, they're getting no rain. It's so dry. Everything is just catching immediately and just spreading.
It's not good.
Yeah.
About 12 million acres have been burned, which is insane.
I don't think that people can really understand how big 12 million acres is.
Yeah. And most houses are like what, 1 to 2 acres big at most.
Maybe.
And that times a million, just not right.
Yeah. So over 2,000 people have lost their homes to the fires. I mean, that's not as bad as some of the major hurricanes and stuff that we see come through. I don't think that many people lost their houses in Hurricane Katrina or Sandy.
Or in the wildfires of California even. It also has been reported that, along with the homes, but also over 1 billion animals have been killed from these fires.
Yeah.
And that's also not including the frogs and the insects, which will bump the number up even more. But these are mainly just like koalas, kangaroos, snakes, wombats, types of birds. And it's just insane. And how animals like koalas are basically on the brink of extinction because of these fires. And majority of their population have been killed because of these fires. And
like it says, like 30% of the population have been just killed because of these fires.
And that's on koalas alone.
Yeah.
With any other animals, probably more than that, or probably a little bit less, but it's just insane of how much carnage these wildfires have been causing.
Yeah. So now we're on to the Amazon rainforest.
So you may have heard a couple months ago, probably thinking in the summertime, the Amazon was on fire. Many people did not know about it because it went under the radar, but it also happened around the time Notre Dame was on fire and people were more worried about Notre Dame instead of the Amazon forest, even though the Amazon rainforest covers 40% of South America, and Notre Dame was just church on a block.
I get it. It's a very important historical building.
It is a very important historical building, but it's like a rainforest where
the biggest one in the world.
Native tribes that live in there had to move away from where they were safe, or
for centuries.
Yeah, for centuries, had to move away, and also because of the little light that gets through the canopies of the trees in the rainforest. More and more CO2 or carbon dioxide in the air was catching fire and trapping in that heat, which just made it 100 times worse, 100 times hotter, which just caused it to spread over.
So the Amazon contains over 40,000 plant species, 3,000 freshwater fish species, and more than 370 types of reptiles, and over 260 land animal species.
Yeah, and probably majority of those numbers are decreased a lot. More than half, most likely. Also, like I said before, the tribes that live in the Amazon were forced to move because they were set on fire. And you may think that these fires must have been caused naturally, like lightning, or because they were also on the driest record. It's not that at all. It was this company called NGO, or political company, started the forest on fire.
Yeah.
On purpose. And it lasted 3 weeks, but because of the dry weather that they had, it was prolonged.
Yeah. This is a major problem with deforestation and stuff. It's only contributing towards further global warming.
Yeah.
So the Amazon had produced more than 20% of the world's oxygen, but now produces much, much less because of the fires.
Yeah, that's just crazy. Like, what kind of company would do that? Like,
I don't know.
Like,
NGO.
why? Like, why? Yeah. Why would they do it? Is like the real question.
Yeah.
Why did they think that this was a good idea? Like, did they not know that it was producing a lot of the Earth's atmosphere, or more oxygen in the Earth's atmosphere?
People just see money. And, But so now we're on to the sea levels and the glaciers.
This is another big topic for global warming.
Very big topic.
Especially you may have heard about the sea levels rising and the glacier is the glaciers are decreasing or losing size. Not only global warming doesn't always start sporadic fires, but it is also melting glaciers, which is leading to the cause of higher sea levels.
Yeah.
Which is bad for coast continents or coast states or provinces.
Yeah.
Much like Florida, California, maybe even Great Britain.
Yeah.
Places like those are, if this doesn't stop, they'll be soon underwater, and which just wouldn't be good for the people that live there. So
on top of this, oceans are getting warmer, which is ruining habitats for animals that live in cold waters. I mean, the stuff like penguins, polar bears, seals, narwhals, orcas, they all need those.
They all need those colder waters in order to survive,
to live in.
That's where they grow. That's where they live.
Yeah, they can't go in
and their bodies just aren't used to the warmer waters.
They can't live in that. And then without their natural habitat, we could be in grave danger of losing animals forever just because of global warming.
Yeah, it's crazy. Even the glaciers have been smaller than ever before in human history and possibly even the history of the world. Ever since 61, glaciers have lost over 9 billion tons.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I don't know how many tons of ice there are in the world,
I don't
but I'm assuming that's more than what
it's gotta
normally
be
should be
a
lost.
big chunk of it. Yeah,
it's a really big chunk.
Scientists are also worried about the release of many diseases that have been frozen in the glaciers for years coming back. Diseases like this are dangerous because we may not have cures readily available for them, and people's immunities are not built to protect against them.
We don't have the same immune system as older tribes back from the United States, where these diseases were around in common.
But they've been frozen for years, and we just haven't.
We haven't been exposed to them, so we didn't have the need to be immune to them.
I think that the thing that's worrying me a lot right now, though, is the sea levels rising with like places like Los Angeles and New Orleans, which are below sea level.
Yeah.
If it keeps happening in like 20 years, these places might be underwater.
Yeah, and that's just not good. We won't have the New Orleans Saints anymore if this continues to happen.
So we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back with some tweets from Donald Trump about global warming.
You're as cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice our love. You never take advice. Someday you'll pay the price.
Welcome back to the WTSJ podcast. This is Casey. I'm still with Ryan. So now we're going to be talking about some tweets that Trump has said about this whole global warming thing. He thinks it's a hoax. As you can see with the first tweet, snowing in Texas and Louisiana, record-setting freezing temperatures throughout the country and beyond. Global warming is an expensive hoax.
Yeah. Says snow and freezing weather all over the midsection of our country. Global warming specialists better start thinking fast.
Another tweet about this is be careful and try staying in your home. Large parts of the country are suffering from tremendous amounts of snow and near record-setting cold. Amazing how big this system is. Wouldn't be bad to have a little of that good old-fashioned global warming right now.
The concept of global warming was and for the Chinese in order to make manufacturing non-competitive.
All right. What about that tweet? That's so dumb. Like,
Yeah.
why would you think that the Chinese invented this whole global warming thing to make their manufacturing non-competitive with any other countries? Like,
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense whatsoever. Another tweet is NBC News just called it the Great Freeze. Coldest weather in years. Is our country still spending money on the global warming hoax?
In the beautiful Midwest, wind chill temperatures are reaching minus 60 degrees, the coldest ever recorded. In coming days, expected to get even colder. People can't last outside even for minutes. What the hell is going on with global warming? Please come back fast. We need you. So, I don't want to get political, but I don't think that our president should be denying something as big and as important as global warming, especially this publicly.
Yeah.
I don't think,
And
yeah.
Twitter. Here's what I think. You know how like the Twitter limit is like 250 characters, right? Probably. He should get like 2.
Maybe.
That's what I think.
But I don't know. I feel like it's not a good thing for something as important and as dangerous as global warming to be denied by the president.
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
that's
if
all I
you,
got to
like,
say about it.
But if you look at it, other states, like for us in Buffalo, we didn't have snow until just last week.
Yeah,
And it's been 50 throughout all December.
pretty much.
Christmas
have
didn't
snow
feel
on
like Christmas at all. I mean, I pretty much wore shorts on Christmas, and
Yeah.
you're not supposed to do that.
No.
Just like other things, like other stuff that we've talked about in the shows, clear signs that we need to start focusing more on global warming and the causes in it instead of listening to our president's tweets about calling it a hoax.
Yeah.
And he's just making it seem like it doesn't exist and it shouldn't be as big of a problem that people are making it. But it really is a big problem, and we need to start doing something about it. That's our thoughts on this whole thing.
Yep.
So thank you guys for watching or listening to this podcast about global warming, and we'll see you in another show. See you guys.
Thanks.
Yo, Vanilla, kick it one time, boy.
Yo, VIP. Let's kick it. Ice, ice, baby. Ice, ice, baby. Alright, stop. Collaborate and listen. Ice is back with my brand new invention. Something grabs a hold of me tightly. Flow like a harpoon daily and nightly. Will it ever stop? Yo, I don't know. Turn off the lights and I'll glow. To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal. Light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle. Dance, crush a speaker that booms. I'm killing your brain like a poisonous mushroom. Deadly, when I play a dope melody. Anything less than the best is a felony. Love it or leave it, you better gain weight. You better hit bullseye, the kid don't play. If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while my DJ revolves it. Ice, ice, baby. Ice, ice, baby. Ice, ice, baby. Now that the party is jumping, with the bass kicked in and the Vegas are pumping. Quick to the point, no faking. Cooking MCs like a pound of bacon. Burning them, being quick and nimble. I go crazy when I hear a cymbal and a hi-hat with a souped up tempo. I'm on a roll, it's time to go solo. Rolling, hit my 5.0, put my continue to A1A. Girls were hot, wearing less than bikinis. Rock men lovers, driving Lamborghinis. Jealous, cause I'm out getting mine. Shade with the gauge and vanilla with the 9. Ready for the chumps on the wall. The chumps acting ill because they're full of 8-ball. Gunshots ranged out like a bell. I grabbed my 9, all I heard was shells falling on the concrete real fast. Jumped in my car, slammed on the gas. Bumper to bumper, the avenue's packed. I'm trying to get away before the jack is jacked. Police on the scene, you know what I mean? They passed me up, could run it all the dope fiends. If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while my DJ revolves it. Take heed, cause I'm a lyrical poet. Miami's on the scene, just in case you didn't know it. My town, that created all the bass sound. Enough to shake and kick holes in the ground, cause my style's like a chemical spill. Feasible rhymes you can vision and feel. Conducted and formed, this is a hell of a concept. We make it hype, and you want us to print this. Shape plays on a fade, slice like a ninja, cut like a razor blade so fast. Other DJs say, damn, if a rhyme was a drug, I'd sell it by the gram. Keep my composure when it's time to get loose. Magnetized by the mic while I kick my juice. If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while DJ revolves it. Ice, ice, baby. Yo, man, let's get out of here. Word to your mother. Ice, ice, baby.